What's up? This is Draco.
And this is Alicia.
And you're now tuned in to OD
Podcast.
Oh.
Period. Good job, Javri.
YOLO.
I thought you was finna say snitches get stitches.
Oh, I ain't say it the time, but I definitely want to say it.
Anyways, hey y'all, welcome to another episode of OD Podcast or whatever. What's up with you, Draco, besides traffic?
Yeah, man, I've been getting a taste of the traffic. I've been going outside the city lately. And it's crazy, I see.
Do you feel like your experience right now has been different from when you had to come to LA for work?
Yes, because when I came here for work, I wasn't moving around the city like I lived here. I knew that I could just go back to my hotel and be normal. Like the hotel is equipped with furniture and food that's around. I could just get, order room service. I can't really do that here. Like I have to go grocery shopping instead of eating out all the time. I have to get gas in a car, and I don't get gas from downtown because it's so expensive. Gas for a regular car downtown is like, if not $6, is like right under $6. And then if you go 2 cities over, it's like $4.20, $4.30. So
that is crazy. I had to get me one of them gas cans.
Yeah, it's a lot. So today was the first day that I actually went to the Valley since I've been living here. And baby, I don't think I'll be going back out there no time soon.
What happened? You was at one of them freak parties?
I went to Six Flags.
Because they be giving blood. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I went to Six Flags. And Six Flags...
That's in Anaheim, right? Oh, no, I'm thinking about Disneyland. Never mind.
Yeah, Disneyland is actually not that far. No, Universal isn't that far. Universal City is like 15-20 minutes from me, but Six Flags is about 45 minutes away. It's in the middle of the desert. It is the most beautiful thing that you have ever seen. Like once we got to the desert part, it's just mountains and rocks. And
yeah, I love it out west.
And it was so high. It was 86 degrees today out there. Downtown, it was a high of 71. So the weather is different. But it was so nice. But the only thing is, it's no street lights. So it's so dark. I'm like, it could be animals out here. People drive crazy as hell. That's why I'm like, I could not do that again. That's not in the daytime. It's crazy. It's no street lights. And then oh my God.
Are you more happy about your decision to move or less happy compared to, because I just feel like, I was talking to someone today about someone else who also relocated here from another state. And I mentioned to them what you said the other day about you kind of feel like you out of town and you got to go back home soon, but you live there. Yeah. So it was like a readjustment period. Like, how do you feel overall? Like, you still content with your decision?
Yeah, now what I will say is that I hate that I have like such a panic about things sometimes. Mm-hmm. So sometimes, like if I overthink something, I'll like have a mild panic and I'm like, oh my God. But overall, like whenever I leave out the house, I'm really excited because I'm literally just exploring and finding new areas, like even down to like finding new grocery stores to shop at. Because before I moved here, I'm like, oh, okay, they got Ralph's is Kroger, and then Whole Foods and Trader Joe's, stuff like that. But then I realized they have more than that. They have like Vines and...
Do y'all have Safeway in LA?
I haven't.
I didn't see Ralph's in the Bay, but we had Safeway, which was just a grocery store. I don't really have a comparison.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen Safeway.
Oh, okay.
That doesn't mean we don't have it, but
yeah.
But even like the grocery store experiences is different. I've been meeting some really, 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 really nice people that have been so helpful. Like the guy who delivered my washing machine yesterday, he was very helpful. The washing machine was very cheap. The washing machine and the dryer was very cheap. So, and he gave me a warranty on it. So and he
Look
was
at
just
you.
like
Aren't you so blessed? God is so
nah,
good.
for real, because I mean, that was my whole thing. Because I don't like buying stuff from people like that, like big. I never bought a washing machine before, but I'm just saying, like, that's a big purchase, and people sell broken stuff all the time. So it's like
Oh, I know it.
I don't want to go. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Good thing about washing and dryers for real, they can last a long time. Like I know people who have bought like washers and dryers from the early 2000s off Craigslist and probably don't had them themselves for like 7 years. Like you can, because they really are straightforward. Is you gonna wash my clothes or no? Like that's really
yeah,
what it is. But yeah, I think you got it. I definitely think you got a good deal. And they were like modern machines. When you send the picture, I'm like, oh, they're not too far different. I mean, the only difference between mine is like it's app enabled, but that's a waste because I don't even use the app part no more. It was
yeah.
a waste, but no, that's what's up.
I'm getting accustomed. I do think that LA is very um like the people here, they operate on like a different mentality, kind of older. I feel like if you're a part of Hollywood, yeah, okay, you're probably up to date. But people that live here that's not a part of that lifestyle and they just live here, they operate on like a older, like with anything, like everything
What
is
does
just
that
like
mean? Give me an
so.
example.
Like in Atlanta, I would say that we're very up to date on like technology. We're up to date on um culture stuff, like clothing, and see, like they don't care about that. And I don't know if that's a good or bad thing.
Well, it's probably a good thing, truth be told.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
not
for real, for
superficial.
real.
That's
But
interesting though, because when people think of LA, especially, they only think of Hollywood and not the environment outside of that.
yeah, Hollywood is literally one area. And the thing about it is celebrities don't even live in Hollywood. I mean, some of them do. Some people do live in Hollywood Hills and stuff like that, but for the most part, they live in the valley. Like Calabasas is like right there where I was just at earlier. So it's far,
I
far,
went to
far,
court
far.
in Hollywood.
Who?
I went to court in Hollywood.
Oh yeah, you did.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like Hollywood is for work. It's not really like glitz and glam. Even like um the Hollywood, what's it called? Where people go to look at the stars, Hollywood Walk of
Oh,
Fame.
the conservatory. Oh, yeah, the Walk of Fame. I'm tripping.
Dirty, dirty.
Yeah, it is. Especially when you get towards the end of it. It's like, do we supposed to be down here?
Very dirty. It's not like
It's not how glamorous they make it seem. It's just a lot of like
yeah, it's a
selling
lot of
going on.
cap.
It's a
It's a
lot
lot of
going on, like a lot of characters. They all want money, and it's a lot. It's a shame because I actually was looking at this TikToker who does like these day in a life videos of living in New York, and then one day she did like what I really see. So like she'll take pictures of the skyline and girls with like models, and then she'll pan the camera and you see all these trash bags on the ground. You see like
yeah.
people using drugs, but it's just interesting how you can glamorize something by sharing certain aspects of it, and it creates a false image. So people go out there probably with this expectation of this glam and all this cool stuff, and they get there and the reality is weird. That's why I think it's really good to travel and become well informed, because I know people, or I've heard of people who have gotten homes in places they never visited because they wanted to go there that bad. And then I think that's terrible, because unless it's just impossible for you to get there. But I just think like in your case, you went to LA several times, like, you know what I'm saying? But let's say you never went before and you went and you like, oh, this is LA.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I feel like people have that um they have that feeling when they come out here, because realistically, like, unless you know people and people know what to do, then when you come out here, it's gonna be like, I don't like this, because
Yeah.
it's not for, you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
not like
yeah, because I mean I hear that a lot about people that go to New York too. They end up disappointed and they can't really catch up. It's just like like a culture shock. And so it can kind of lead to depression a little bit because you feel like you don't belong, you're out of place, you don't really know what you're doing, and you don't have your head on straight.
now
I
that
felt
part
that a
I can
little bit in the
relate
Bay
to.
Area when I went for my little. I mean, even though I knew I was there temporarily, I felt very out of place, and like I was just like, I can't imagine living here because I don't think I could find people like me. Like I don't think I could really find friends if I didn't have my roommate. I did meet people. We all were there for our internships, but we didn't hang out, and I didn't see them because we didn't work together. But my roommate, that was really my mom, my only friend. We did everything together.
Yeah. Now that part I can relate to. Like, I do feel like I'm out of place because I don't really know people here to kind of network and just kind of spread the word that I'm here, and I don't even know where to start with that. So it's kind of overwhelming. But at the same time, I do know a lot of people here, especially like girls and models. So I've came up with a plan that I'm just gonna eventually, once I get my studio set up in here, I was just gonna make like quick TikToks and like
Definitely TikTok. TikTok is going for what you do. TikTok is gonna be that girl.
yeah, like TikToks and reels. And then I wanted to just do like Instagram, like post more because I don't post a lot. So I want to just post
You
more
don't?
looks, and I post on my story, but I don't post a lot of work. A
Oh,
lot of
okay, my
time.
bad.
So um I don't post a lot of my work. That's what I meant. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just gather me up some girls and just do makeup here. And then when they post it, the people see that I'm here and all sort of stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I got you. I
still
got you.
trying to feel
Okay.
like that. So that's what I came up with. So now I'm just working on that. But
Yeah,
I
you
was a
got it.
little discouraged, but at the same time, I'm like, boy, you've been here 2 weeks, two full weeks. I mean,
And
how
before you know,
fast
it's
do
gonna
you
be two
expect?
years. Yeah.
Yeah, like how fast do you expect things to just pick up?
But I can understand that. I mean, you come from like not having no free time in one city to move to another and kind of feeling like you got to readapt. So I get it. It makes sense. It's just like, starting a new job. But
Yeah.
let's get into this week's episode. First things first, I want to talk about the Black Biz of the Week. So this week is my turn, and I want to talk about Wordy Productions. So a couple times I talked about this podcast that I really love, which is called the Black Millennial Marriage Podcast. It's hosted by two good friends of mine who I really admire and respect, Mikey and Randy. But Randy, who's the wife, she started a business called Wordy Productions, and it is a podcast production company. And basically she is everything that you need to get a podcast started, the resources you need, the details on how to make it successful, the equipment, the editing, the production meetings. Like, she'll do all that with you, hold your hand through the whole process. But she has different tiers and services that she offers, so you can kind of just decide what you need. She has a free podcast starter kit, and right now it is free. Oh, it's free until Friday. Today's Wednesday, so you better listen to this episode right away and head over to Wordy Productions. Wordy Productions are sorry. Wordy Productions, which is spelled WORDIE productions.ck.page. And I'm assuming it's wordy because Randy's a reader. She's very intelligent. She loves literature. And I think that's a really cool play on words. But yeah, seriously, I mean, from the bottom of my heart, I have a lot of respect for them. And I really admire what they did with their podcast. Like, they're doing very well. And they have really built the community over there. And Randy, stopped working for the man, and she is the man, the woman.
Ariana,
But on Instagram, it is
working
Wordy
for the man
Production.
is gender neutral.
Huh? Work for
Working,
okay, period.
yeah,
So is Randy, clearly. But
period.
yeah. But yeah, on Instagram it's Wordy Productions. I'm gonna put the information in the episode notes. But I think it's great. She has definitely produced for a lot of high profile, or I won't say a lot. I don't wanna put no pressure on her, but she has definitely produced for some high visibility podcasts, and her podcast being one of them. So y'all should definitely check it out. She knows what she's doing. She's a very, very, very kind woman. And I want all the success in the world for her and her husband. Seriously, they really do deserve it. So, like I said, I'll put the information in the episode notes and holler at her. Stop asking me podcast questions and ask Wordy.
Oh
Okay.
my God. Shout out to you, Randy. Hey girl, going off like that. I love to hear about my girls out here doing the right thing,
Doing her thing.
doing
She's
something.
smart. Okay. She's a smart cookie, baby.
Period.
But yeah, so let's get into shop talk. First things first, to all the honey, diamond, playboy bunny, and money. All right, you want to go first?
Sure.
Let go.
So first up, I have unfortunately, I have London on the Tracks Baby Mama again. Okay. Now the reason why I want to bring this up is because I have a huge issue with people picking on other people's features. Okay. So she just unwarrantedly posted a picture of Summer Walker. So Summer Walker, for all her new fans, at one point, because people don't really know, they probably don't know. So at one point, at one point in time when Summer, it was her first album, she literally shaved her hair bald. Like she shaved it completely bald, and she started growing her hair back out. And so she used to post like pictures of her progress. I mean, whatever. So she was like getting it trimmed over time. And so she'll post like her hair picked out and it would be like an afro. And so London, one of London on the Tracks baby mamas, and I don't know if they had like some behind the scene beef recently,
Yeah,
but
that song, that
she
first
said
song
that
on
she
her
wasn't
album.
mad at her, though. She was like,
But she always been picking on stuff. Like she always insert herself into drama with Summer. She really does.
I'm not even mad at Summer. She said, I like the song. She said, it's Cardi who I got a problem with. Because
Yeah, it was really weird. She's a
yeah.
weirdo. The song
So
been out like a month, girl. Let it
she
go.
just posted her pictures on her story today and was saying like, um, uh, she looked like she was in Jackson 5 and look at her old nose.
Anti-black.
Yeah, she was like, look at her hair. She looked crazy. Look at her nose. Her nose was so big. And I have a problem with people that do things like that because now that Summer has a new nose, she got her nose done. People have a problem with that as well. And it's like, you know what's so crazy? She's probably not the first person that said something to her about her nose. And in my opinion, and to a lot of people, it was nothing wrong with her
At
features.
all. At
Nothing
all.
wrong with her.
Literally.
She's a beautiful girl. But when you have people around and people that exist like London's baby mama that just randomly, and if you look at her, she's uh we're gonna I was about to say mulatto, but she's mixed and she has like long hair, and I hate to even put that on people because you didn't choose to look like that. But in reality, um, that's just what is like the standard of beauty. You have to have, well, not standard of beauty, but that's what men like, or that's what they feel like you have to look like. You have to have that long curly hair or light skin, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? Certain shaped noses and lips and all sort of things. And now that Summer is like in her, she got money to look how she wants to look, and she's invested in herself, even if we don't agree with it. But that's what she wants to look like. She wants different nose and bigger lips and cheekbones and breast and butt and all the other stuff. And that's not uncommon, but I just don't get why people in this day and age are still picking on people that do things like that. Like,
I
or
think it's the girl's vendetta. Yeah, number one, I think it's very anti-black. The girl is a very basic looking. Not Summer talking about Ebony, but she has been like going back and forth, or really a lot of times not even back and forth, just going at Summer several times on public platforms. It's really weird. It's giving obsessed vibes. Like you literally are the main one that's all. Is she the same one who claimed London paid her to? She just is very weird. It's really annoying, honestly. It's
damn,
it's like is it jealousy? It's got to be jealousy.
yeah, it's something because it's like I
This is
don't
why you
know.
don't date men with kids and you don't have these men's babies.
Yeah, that should have been a red flag. He has three baby mamas prior to her, so now
Mhm.
he has four. And I just don't understand why she didn't look at that as like, okay, he treats all of these girls terrible.
The thing is, she did know that, and that's so sad, and became a product of that. Because she did. First of all, she was defending him. Then she was dissing him for his behaviors towards those kids, and then became a part of the scenario. It just doesn't make sense. So she definitely ain't innocent in it either, but it is still
Yeah,
trifling.
yeah, very trifling. But I hate that because I mean, even with me, like at some point in time, like people will say certain things or whatever, and I be feeling like I have to change my appearance. And it's like, okay, I need to do this to look this certain way. Even with family, like I remember when I was younger, I had cousins that used to talk about my ears. I had cousins that used to talk
What?
about my lips.
And people don't realize the impact I mean, I've heard so many stories. Like even I have some myself. Somebody could have said something one time to you, and you never heard it from nobody else ever. But it creates an
Yeah.
insecurity.
Yep. And so I'm like, dang, that just made me feel real uncomfortable. And I think about that. Like as I get older, I'm like, damn, is that probably where some of my insecurities come from? And I know,
Possibly, man.
and it's like I haven't been like talked about to my face like as an adult. Like people haven't said anything, but I know like as a kid, people are really cruel. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
they are. And kids don't even realize what they even be saying. They just saying what they think he's supposed to. It's a mess. But yeah, I hate that situation with Ebony and Summer. I just, it's weird. Don't have these men babies and don't date men with kids. And they
Inject
about
your.
to ban abortion, so now y'all really need to be careful because they don't care now about y'all reproductive system for real, for real.
Oh God.
All
Yeah.
right. So, rest in peace to Virgil Abloh. I hope I'm saying his name correctly.
Okay.
So you guys know that
Obla or Ablo. Some.
yes, Virgil.
Okay.
Um,
Let's get into some things, honey.
you know what? I always felt this way. I always feel like when people pass away, suddenly people care about you.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, our Virgil was highly revered. He was very popular, very loved, very liked. But let's not act like y'all wasn't just roasting this man last week. Okay. Yeah, I was roasting his choice of wife, his $50 donation, and I'm pretty sure I probably was too. But I ain't faking it. Now, it is nothing wrong with sharing condolences and stuff like that. But I just think it's so interesting how people suddenly feel bad because somebody was sick or they passed away. We're all gonna die.
Yeah.
So every person you talk about is going to die. Okay. So just keep that same energy, basically, is what I'm trying to say. It's just interesting seeing some people saying, oh man, you never know what people are going through. That should always be your thinking, though.
Yeah, that is very true.
You should never, it shouldn't be when that person is deceased. Now, I do hate that he, as well as Chadwick Boseman, suffered in silence. My assumption is they just didn't want any sympathy, or they were more focused on leaving a legacy than having people kind of like trying to accommodate them, which I can respect. But I also, feel like if you are dealing with something like that and you have such an impact, it could have a positive influence on your audience. And not that they have to be responsible for that. I mean, you literally are fighting for your life. But I just think about the impact that it could have had if people had known he was sick. But maybe that's the reason why he fought in private. But yeah, anyway, I just don't like the fakeness. It's like I don't like you go to a funeral, they be like, oh, even on the news or something. Like he was a sweet kid, but he was abusive, violent, a thief, a liar. And it's okay. It's okay to say that him dying still was poor, a terrible situation. But I don't know. I just seen a lot of fakeness on the timeline. That's all.
Yeah, so I definitely agree to that. Um, I don't want to say I used to bash him. I definitely was disappointed in a lot of his choice of fashions because I knew what he was capable of. So when Virgil first came out, this is when I was actually when I first saw him. This is like right when I was like in fashion school, so I was heavily influenced by like Kanye. This is when we went to Botter because this is like when you won prom queen. This is when remember we went to the Broken Bougie, the
Yes,
Kanye.
I did win Broken Bougie prom queen.
Randomly,
Isis
I
won.
saw Fadia at a shoot last week. I'll talk to you about that
Look at
off.
she's that girl these days.
Okay. Um. So, anywho, around that time, that's when I, knew who he was, and during that time, that was just so inspiring for me to see like all those black fashionistas in Paris because that was like a major thing at the time. And so after that, when he started designing and started making stuff, it was very creative. Now I would say I don't think it was creative, but I do think that Ben Trio stuff and like the Hood by Air collabs, like when he first emerged on the like streetwear scene, that was just so iconic. The Pyrex shorts. When I tell you people knocked off that so bad, that was when to me, that's when Air Force Ones like resurfaced in Atlanta. Um, I remember I had went to New York around that time for the first time, and I had on some Air Force Ones, and this dude was like, "Oh, y'all wear those?" And
I ain't
I'm
know
like,
we ever. I ain't know they had to research. I thought they always been on.
so they had like people stopped wearing them for a long time, and then
Not in the hood.
yeah, not in the hood, but
Oh,
like
okay.
in general, they had stopped wearing them and like moved on to other stuff. And then when ASAP Rocky came out, he was wearing the bench Trio and the Pyrex and all other stuff. That's when people started bringing the white forces back out and the black forces, and people don't even wear black forces like that no more because they say that that's some robbery shoes. But I did think that was
Some
cool.
about all black shoes don't sit well with me. Period.
I like black shoes, but
All
not
black leather shoes. Let me be clear.
yeah. I feel you. But I think that Virgil over the years has made some really dope stuff. Like I didn't have a problem with it. The problem I had was the zip ties on Jordans that I already got. And I say this all the time.
I didn't look.
I was like, I have these in my closet.
Yeah.
And I don't think that me putting a red zip tie on it and writing the word air on the side in quotations is iconic enough for me to spend an extra $400 or $500 on the same shoe that I just bought.
Yeah.
And I didn't support that. I didn't support that at all because I'm like, you're Virgil, baby. Where's the creativity in this?
Yeah, maybe to him that was creativity. Yeah, just like my music taste, my fashion taste should also not be taken seriously. But I definitely didn't understand the English literature rollout stuff like the quotations and all that. I didn't really get it, but clearly people did.
Yeah, it was interpretive art for him because it obviously meant something to him, and I respect that.
Yeah.
It just wasn't for me.
Yeah,
it just wasn't for me, and I do feel like people were buying it because of the hype, just because of who had it on.
But we have control of creating that hype, so they were the hype, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. So, but I do feel like his runway stuff has always just been really fab to me. Even more recently, which is crazy because I saw him at the Met. I didn't see him in person, but I just saw him on the carpet when I was watching the Met stuff. And his outfit that he wore to the Met this year, it was so fire. I was like, this is probably my most favorite thing that I've seen from Virgil. And I was looking at him. I'm like, why does he look so dark? I kept saying, I'm like, well, he looks different. And in my head, I'm like, maybe he's just getting older because he
was probably the chemo.
Yeah, like he was just looking older to me. And I'm like, okay, whatever. He just looked different, but whatever. But he definitely was going through that. He was definitely
the same with Chadwick. You look at pictures of Chadwick and you can tell he had been through chemo as well from his hair texture. But it's just, you just don't think about it. Because a lot of times people who suffer from cancer, they look a lot weaker. You know what I mean? Yeah. Very frail. The chemo definitely changes your skin and hair texture. But obviously when they are out, they can get makeup and stuff like that. And I feel like Chadwick kind of, textured his hair a little bit to make it look a little bit more normal, quote unquote. But it's honestly really sad. Cancer is a terrible, terrible disease to have to fight, man. And I just hate that it's been around for so long and there's no kind of cure. And he had a very rare and rapid form. So he didn't have a lot of time to even fight it, if he even had a chance to begin with, but it's really sad, honestly. But I know people don't always mean harm when they tell jokes, stuff like that, but just understand that that person is going to die. So just, choose your words wisely.
Yeah. And people was in my DM because I was posting like articles and stuff that he wrote. And people were in my DM saying that it was a conspiracy. He was apparently tied to.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, like, so I'm like,
hey, stuff like that. What y'all gonna say? He had the vaccine, please.
No, they were just saying that he was tied to some case that this lady is being picked up by human trafficking, and then days later, after that news get put out, he died. I said, oh,
it's the same thing about Malcolm X's daughter, but you know.
It's just too much. I hate stuff like that, but rest in peace to him. I do think that his tribute in Art Basel was so fire. That was probably one of his best shows that I've ever seen, where I didn't have anything bad to say about the clothes. I think that the actual formulation of the show, like the detailing of the show, how they made the statue of him, and it was really big. The sky things where it had his name and it was like paper planes and stuff. I thought that was very nice. I really loved it, and I hope he's happy with it.
I got kind of a long list. I can't even lie to you. So next up, I want to talk about Ari Lennox getting arrested in Amsterdam. So she had tweeted that she had basically experienced racial profiling at, she said FKLM and F Amsterdam or Schiphol Airport. And then they released a statement saying that she was under the influence or intoxicated at the airport. Now I'm not sure which one is true, but I felt like this brought up an interesting thought that I've been having a while. So, like, for example, there are a lot of people who have gone to like the UAE and been arrested for having weed or some kind of substance. And it just makes me think about, like, when I travel internationally, I try to, it's not possible for me to know all the laws, but I try to do nothing that could be remotely considered unacceptable. Now, obviously, we don't know what happened with Ari Lennox, but it just made me think of that because their perception of her being belligerent or drunk or whatever they're accusing her of being, it just makes me think about like when you go to these different countries, man, you just, I think we have so much. And like I said, this is not about Ari Lennox particularly. I'm just saying travel in general. In America, we have a lot of freedoms. People can cut the food in public, and people, it's business as usual. But you go to some of these other countries, you can't wear certain things, you can't have possession of certain things, you can't act certain ways, and you could be stuck. I mean, you see what happened with DJ Eskimo, and then it's Esco. I said Eskimo.
Yeah.
But and I mean, just there are several cases based on what I'm just saying. So anyway, I just wanted to share like my thoughts on just when I travel internationally. Just I'd be just so worried. I remember when I went to the Paris airport, I already had a bad perception of France because of what people have told me. But the airport was chaotic. Everybody spoke French. It was a lot, but I just had to make sure I had my ducks in a row and my Googles, and I was just like, here my paper. All right, let's go. Like I don't even want to talk. I don't want no misunderstanding.
Yeah, I felt like that when we were in Dubai too, because see me, I'm like you in my head. In my head, I'm like just being very cautious and just being very mindful of the different laws, like what is legal, what's illegal. Just watching what I say. And of course, when I went to Dubai, I went to Dubai with like people who in America, they're very high profile people, so they do what they want. And people always feel like when you have a certain amount of money, you can just do what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that wasn't necessarily the case. Now we didn't get in trouble, but we did get some crazy stares. I went to the mall and they had on their Fashion Nova dresses and they cut off shirts and stuff like that, because in Dubai the women have to be covered up.
Mm-hmm.
Now you don't have to be like dressed in the traditional attire everywhere you go, but it's like you gotta, the women out there wear like pants and t-shirts. Like it can be fitted, but they're covered for the most part. Like they don't even really wear dresses unless they are really long dresses that could drag the floor. I mean, you're covered. You know
Like
what I'm
in a
saying?
gown, basically.
Yeah. So just imagine my girls had on halter top, crop tops, leggings.
See, and that's to me, that's kind of crazy because when you, like you said, when you think of a country like Dubai, you don't, that can't be what comes to your head. So why wouldn't you want to blend in? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a respect thing to me also. It's just kind of like when I went to Kenya, I went shopping for clothes, but I had very regular clothes. I didn't even want to look flashy. Number one, I don't want to make myself like a target anywhere. But I just feel like, I don't know. I just I just don't get
No,
it.
I get it. I understand. I definitely I've grown to do that. But see, my thing is when I go out the country, I love to take photos. So if you always look at my pictures, half of that stuff I don't even wear in public. I'll just take the photos in the house. I'll make sure I get a nice little villa or private house or whatever, and just take pictures around the house, the pool, the inside, whatever. But I don't really go a lot of places out there, especially when we went to Dominican Republic. I was scared.
I didn't even take no jewelry when I went to Kenya. I think I had one necklace. I don't even think I wore. I took it. I don't even think I wore a necklace. Yeah, I mean, and that's just. I obviously it's a third world country, so things can be a little different. But obviously, the crimes that can be committed in an African country can also happen in an American country. Let's be very clear. But
Yeah.
I was, alone. I just, I don't know. I just feel like I'm just be. Obviously, you want to travel and enjoy yourself and see the world, but I don't even want them to almost think that something is wrong. So
I feel that.
yeah. So
Do you feel
anyhow,
is she still in jail?
I mean, I'm guessing so, man. I haven't heard no kind of updates or, I hope she's okay and safe, number one. But
Yeah.
I hope that she is innocent of what they're accusing her of. And it's unfortunate because not that she should get special treatment because she's famous, but if it was racial profiling, they probably looked at her just some other black girl, you know what I'm saying? Not like somebody of value or things of that nature. But dang, she said FKLM, they part of Sky Team. I love Sky Team. Anyway, all right.
So there was a thing that came across my Instagram earlier today, and I had a conversation with one of my old colleagues from an old salon I used to work at. So basically what the problem is, or what a problem was, so yesterday she posted that her son has been wanting a kitchen set for Christmas for 3 years. She's like, he's been asking me for this damn kitchen set for 3 years. I think I'm gonna just go ahead and get it for him. Cause I thought that he would just be like, oh, he don't want it no more, but he really wants it. And so randomly that came up again on the Shade Room today. And she said that people were DMing her, just basically trying to talk her out of buying it for him. And on the Shade Room, somebody posted and said, if you buy your son a kitchen set, your son can't come around my son.
Oh my God.
Because that's just not right. Y'all keep trying to feed this agenda. If you get your son stuff like that, you need to get him a grill set. The grill sets are for men and the kitchen sets are for women. That's what she said.
Do apartments come with grills? So you can't eat to survive. That's an agenda. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I saw this. I saw a post that people circulating on Twitter. This is the thing.
A kitchen set is gonna make your son gay.
A kitchen that is literally a standard in a home, and your son cannot be exposed to it. Like, what is gender bending about that?
Keep in mind, they screenshotted the picture from like a toy website, and it was a boy playing with it.
Because it is essential. It is literally essential. And then for them to say a grill, because so he should have a grill. Okay, anyway, what about Chef Ramsay, Chef Salt Bay?
Yeah.
The folks at Benihana's.
He was just like, I'm gonna get it for him, because what if he want to be a chef? What if he want,
or maybe he just wants to know how to cook so he can survive? Like, I just don't understand why people are making stuff so complicated. Like, there are some things that I feel like people have been adjusting to comply. I mean, to appease all sexual preferences. Some stuff I feel is a little, unnecessary, but it ain't up to me because I've been catered to because I'm heterosexual, so whatever. But I feel like some of the stuff like this is just too much. Like, come on, literally, you got to eat to survive. Like, what will make? What you want him to be? I'm sorry. Go ahead. It's your topic.
Yeah, no, I get it, because I feel the same way. And I was just talking to her about it, and I just wanted to, and I told her, I said, I want to come to you genuinely and just tell you that, that you're not doing nothing wrong, and you're actually doing something right, because you're listening to your child. Like, this is what makes him comfortable. This is what he wants. This is what he wants.
And it's not it's nothing sexual about cooking.
Yeah, it's nothing feminine about using a kitchen set. And I told her, and I said, my mama, I was grateful that my mom just allowed me to do things that I wanted to do. And even at one point in my life, my mama had caught me playing with a doll, and she bought me one.
Oh, she already knew though.
She already knew.
Sorry.
So, and I told her, and I said, my mama put me in sports. I played sports. You think that made me straight? No.
Exactly. Literally. And there are people that are not heterosexual playing sports. So, and what does that have to do with survival?
Yeah. And I told her, I said, what's so crazy? I said, it's really weird, because I know so many adults now that don't even know how to cook.
Listen, can't cook. Grits be lumpy. Okay. How the first pancake be having a little ring around it, they jump be having bubbles, bro. Like, people cannot, it's so many people that cannot cook because y'all are worried about the wrong thing. Imagine stopping your child from learning basic survival skills. Imagine that.
One of my friends, I had to just skip through her story one day because her son was on like the field playing sports, playing ball. And she, how moms be recording from the sideline and they get close to the camera. She's like, wave at the camera. Da, 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 da. So he was like, Mom, stop. No, he said, Mother, or something like that. And she was like, what?
Oh,
I'm take you. She's from, I'm finna take you to the west side. Because
okay. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus.
She's like, because what you want him to say? Like, Ma, or
he want her to call her the B word. That's what she want. I seen this video of this guy whose son was getting his ears pierced. A little boy, had to be like 3 or 4 years old, maybe a little older. And he literally told him, like, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. And the boy literally just put a mean mug on. It's like he was teaching him to not have emotions. Now, obviously, I'm not a fan of anybody being super sensitive to the point where everything makes them emotional. But getting your ears pierced hurts, especially when you're a child. Like, it doesn't make sense. Now, if he messed around and tied his shoes too tight, he broke down crying, he would have got on my goddamn nerves. It wasn't about being feminine, though. It would have been about being annoying. So it's picky battles. But anyway, I just stop, y'all. It's okay to not have kids, y'all. Like, really, seriously, y'all are ruining people, man. It's like, it's really sick in the head. Anyway, let's move to the next topic. So next, I want to talk about the post that you sent me today from Sierra Glam Shop. Basically, Sierra was being very generous in the community, giving away money and cars to people that were in need. And while she was out there impacting her community, her home was being burglarized by several young men who took everything she owned. Now, it's really disgusting to see stuff like that. And this is one of the reasons why, like, even when I went to Kenya, I didn't post until I left, because I just didn't want anybody to know where I was. And then I didn't even want people to know I wasn't in the country, let alone not at home. But sometimes I think about, like, when I post pictures on Instagram, I always post in front of the same mirror. I try not to post from the bathroom, from the hallway, from the nothing. I remember one time that when I had that game night at my house with my cousins and everybody was posting, I low-key didn't even want to repost their videos because I was like, I don't want nobody to see what my living room look like. It's just too much, because people, every little detail, man, people use it. It's just really sick. I felt really bad for her, and I just can't imagine, especially with the PTSD I've dealt with, imagine sleeping in a home that I know somebody uninvited was inside of and took my things out of. Like, it would really shake me up, and it's really disgusting. And I know for Sierra it's a little different because she is a public figure, but I just really urge people to be as low key as possible when it comes to sharing personal details or even small details that will give people insight on your lifestyle, because I'm telling you, just stuff that you think is not important. People be thinking, like, even when I tweet, I try not to be too descriptive about certain stuff. I mean, it's really, people are praying. It's holiday season. It's a pandemic. People ain't got their jobs. People got kids that's hungry. They don't care about who they harm or take from to provide for themselves. It's just really disgusting.
Man.
Also, if you have get a camera, I mean, Sierra did have a camera. I don't know if she had her alarm on. I seen this post by Safari, and I try not to agree with him, but I do have my alarm on when I'm at home. When I leave the house, people be stealing dogs. I think about that. Yeah. Like, it's just a lot, y'all. Please do everything you can to protect your home, yourself. And obviously these are material things, but you also got to think about the mental impact that something like that will have, living in a home that somebody literally was inside of that you didn't let in. It's really sick, and it's really scary.
Yeah, I've had my home burglarized before. My sister has, and I just always feared that. I don't know. That's another reason why I like living in, like, apartment buildings, because
even though they
still do that. Mm-hmm. But I feel like when you live in, like, a building, not like, you know how it's apartments where you have, like,
concierge.
Yeah, or like outside stuff. Like, if I can walk to your apartment door from the parking lot, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't prefer it. I'll tell you that much. Because anybody can roll up, and you won't have there's no quality control over that.
Yeah, so that's why I feel like when it's something like this, or something like a building where it's like gated, or like, because I mean, there's still cars, but I haven't heard anybody just getting their house broken into from apartment like that. I mean,
I seen it on ATL School, but it was also ATL. So
yeah, so I don't know. I just be real weird about it. That's another reason why I don't be want to live in a house, because for one, I'm not living with nobody. So
yeah, that's my thing too. It's a catch-22, because you want a nice, beautiful home, but when you live in it alone, that's a lot of space that you can't see. That's how I felt in my townhouse. That's why I had to get up out of there, because it just was too big. It was nice to have. I had got it for a great price, but for me living alone, not even having a dog yet, it was just way too much space. And I mean, I could literally be in my house and somebody could be in there with me, and I wouldn't even know.
Yeah. I feel that. That's why I'm like, I don't know. That's too much space for me to be living in the house by myself and then not having nobody there. And see, like, I grew up with the traditional country family from the hood. So we all, like, anybody who had a house in my family, it was always somebody there.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. My
Somebody
granddad's
that
house growing up, my granddad, everybody in the neighborhood had a key to his house. People can let themselves in, but they also had that camaraderie. They couldn't do that today.
no. And see, like my aunt, she had like one of her uncles living in the house. He never really left the house. She had an aunt living in the house one time. She never left. Um, and then once she got older, she never left. Like she would go to church, she would go to the store, but it was always somebody there.
Mm-hmm.
And the crazy thing is, still got robbed at gunpoint.
Mm. Mm. Mm-mm-mm.
Home invasion. When people was in there and they shot my cousin and my uncle.
Oh my God. Did they survive?
My uncle actually died of the wounds a whole year later. He got a staph infection from
Oh my God.
the bullet that was still in his body. My cousin is fine, but my uncle literally died a whole year later. And what's so weird about that is that that's how my niece's dad died. He died from a gunshot wound that happened a whole year prior. He
Yeah,
had a
sometimes it could be more fatal if they try to remove the bullet, so they'll leave it there.
Yep. And so what happened was they died of like a staph infection because it got infected.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus. That's crazy. Stuff like that. Let me tell you something. I'm already dealing with my own trauma. Stuff like that, I'll be living in a closet.
Yeah.
I swear.
I don't think my aunt ever healed from that. I feel
I
like
can't imagine.
because my aunt, this is my aunt that passed last year from COVID, but I do partially think that she died of like a broken heart because she never healed from her husband dying.
Bro, I believe it. I
Like,
believe it.
never.
Imagine going through all of that and then you get past it, or you think you get past it, and then somebody still suffers for something that happened a long time ago. And the people who broke in carrying on probably don't hit up small houses.
Yeah, and then on top of that, she still was living in that house that they broke into.
Oh my God, I'll be having nightmares.
Imagine.
This is why I like, even when I go to people's house, I lock the door behind me. I lock every lock, and not that that can
Yeah,
protect me, but it's gonna have to be some kind of barrier, because there's no way to be victim proof when it comes to people that want to get what they want to get. But I swear that's why I'm glad. I mean, I don't even own a lot of expensive things, but even if I do, I'm not gonna be all flashy with it because I do not want to be a target. I promise you're gonna be disappointed. I got a lot of books, dictionaries, stuff like that.
yeah,
I don't know what you're gonna do with that, but like it's oh my goodness. Stuff like that made me want to leave the city. I ain't gonna lie to you, but I love Atlanta, child.
yeah. I mean, I never not love Atlanta. I just wanted something different, but obviously, LA ain't no different. Seeing all the stuff that we had going on out here this week.
Yeah, I mean, I think big cities are inevitable,
Yeah,
unfortunately, but it's just sad. And I know people love having personas online and looking cool, but at the end of the day, it really don't matter. That post gonna get old just like the next one and the one after that. So just think twice before you make yourself a target.
yeah.
Mm.
In other news, looks like Wendy Williams is doing good or
Oh,
doing.
I was actually really glad to see that video. As much as I would
Yeah,
like for her to just, you know, be a better person. I was happy to see, because the way they were trying to describe her, I'm thinking sis was gonna be like a roly poly for
yeah.
real.
You know, they said that she couldn't walk and that she was
Lying,
going through early stages of dementia.
lying. Her
I
brother
don't
also
under,
said that wasn't true anyway.
I don't understand why she was walking out of the wellness center with no shoes on in the road,
In a Versace robe at that. She could have been walking on the robe at least.
but I don't know.
Yeah.
She had some shoes in the car though. Her son was helping her out the car when she got to her destination and she had some shoes on. But
Yeah, her voice sounded normal. She definitely I mean, because yeah, I don't know what's going on with her, but I need her, I do wish her the best. That's all I can really say. I wish her the best. I have a question, and overheard this on the Breakfast Club, and I was like, I know we talk a lot about money and relationships and stuff like that, but a caller called in for advice, and I was like, this is an interesting question to unpack. So let's would you help your partner get out of debt?
um okay, so it's levels to this, okay?
I totally agree. That's exactly
So
why I wanted to talk about it.
it's levels to it. So I've been in relationships where I've been in a relationship, let's say that, because I ain't make that dumbass decision twice or mistake twice.
Oh Jesus.
But I've been in a relationship where I was the person who was making the money for us. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now we've healed from that, so we cool. We don't speak in terms. So I'm not necessarily mad. If you're listening to this, I don't want you to think I got no grudge, but at the same time, you got to understand where I'm coming from. So I've been there. You know what I'm saying? He was very unmotivated. He was very, very like just lazy. Um, and I wasn't fucking with that. Now, I wouldn't say that I'm dating right now. Or I guess you can say I'm dating somebody. I'm not in a relationship, I'm just dating. So the person that I talk to now, right? We've been talking for such a short time. But what I will say is that he's a very independent person. He lives alone, which I think is very important.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he has his own car. And even the area that he lives in, he thought that I would be like scared to come see him or just embarrassed by that or whatever. But I'm like, literally, you are providing for yourself. Like, why would I ever do that? But the thing about it is he's very, and it may not be much, but I can just tell by the way that he presents himself to me. And then just the questions that he asks, about like just the things that I would need help on, even though I can do all the shit I want. I could do all this stuff by myself, but it's just the fact that he's offered it and he's actually followed through with it. I like that because I never really had that in anybody that I talk to. It's always been like, oh dang, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Gee, that's
So
triggering. You saying that is triggering.
so I didn't even have to ask him to do this, and he just stepping up to the plate and like, okay, we're gonna get this done. What's your whatever, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, dang, people
That's a
like this
black
is
king right there.
this
He
is
a
really,
black, ain't
really
he? Black.
yeah,
Okay, good.
from New Orleans too.
Okay,
Very,
baby.
you know,
I was just thinking about beignets.
and he know how to cook. So it's different things like that because and that's another thing important too because I've always been the one to have to cook too because none of my know how to cook.
Yeah, because they mama was too busy trying to make them grill. Then they realized it was a a fire hazard. And now, so they just told them to go in there and don't cry and play with their soldiers.
In video games. But
with guns.
with that being said, while I said all that to make a point. If he was in debt and we were to get serious and he was in debt or whatever, I would not mind helping my significant other out of debt because I genuinely know that he's doing what he got to do. You know what I'm saying? He working hard, and honestly, stuff happens because I've been there. You know what I'm saying? I had to pay my own way out of debt. You know what I'm saying? By myself, and it wasn't this. It was my fault that I was in debt. But at the same time, it was like I didn't know about this type of stuff. I didn't have like a lot of resources or people around me to explain this stuff to me. So I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Then I also didn't have no money. So
I'm right. You can't save your way out of poverty. Trust me.
Yeah. So
Believe
I was
me,
running up tabs and not paying them. And over the time I couldn't afford it.
Hold on. What?
Running
off on tabs?
I didn't run off on tabs. I'm saying like credit cards and stuff.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Credit card and bills, certain bills. So stuff happens,
Mm-hmm.
So I get it. But if I don't feel that you can take care of yourself or that you're not even motivated, then of course I'm not doing that. You on your own.
Yeah. I agree. I definitely think, like you said, there are levels to it. I had to think about this one. I can't lie to you because I'm not gonna lie to you. As soon as a man tell me what kind of debt he got, I'm judging him and I don't even want to talk to him no more. Because I feel like there are a lot of behaviors associated with debt. And depending on what it is, what you owe, and how it accumulated, to me is a reflection of what I'm about to be dealing with. A broke man. Now obviously you can be in debt and not be broke. Let's be very clear. But when you got like several overdraft bank accounts, can't have a bank account because of it. You on a Boost mobile phone because you can't get approved for no Verizon account, stuff like that. I'm like, nah, okay.
I feel it. No,
We big grown. But if you talking about like student debt, credit card debt, which it can be a sign of irresponsibility, but I myself was in a point where I was negative $8,000 in credit card debt because I needed it real bad. So, and I was paying it, but I ain't have $8,000, not yet anyway. And so I think that it's all about the behaviors around it and then what would be the benefit of me helping, because I think that if we're going to get married and we're going to buy property together, homes and stuff like that, that will matter. You know what I'm saying? I would help if it is very clear that like, okay, let me say this, because I feel like, number one, I wouldn't marry no man who not able to get himself out of debt. Let's just, I'm sorry, it just is what it is. But I feel like if it is something that I can help to expedite it so we can get to a greater goal, I would absolutely help. Like if it's like, man, I had it's this student loan I got, or this car loan, I don't know, something like that, where it's like, okay, we can get this, it's this building we want to buy, it's available right now. All we need this, and that. If it's something that's like that, I'm like, okay, cool. Let me cut the check so we get this taken care of. But I think it'll be necessary to get a third party involved so that we can have a proper organization for it. Like if we got to get a financial advisor or some kind of accountant to make sure to hold each other accountable and to make sure it's a realistic plan. I just, and also so I can sue you if you don't get my money back. So I think that is a good, but I think that's really what it comes down to. So 99% of the time probably won't help, but that 1% is because we got this really cool opportunity that, and I know you're capable of doing it, but time is of the essence.
Okay, I understand that, and I think that that's valid. I think that I will probably have that mentality too, 100%, had I not watched myself get myself out of debt.
Yeah, no, I feel you, but I've been very
it just depends on the point over the years, and a lot of my debt came from irresponsibility. A lot of my debt came from irresponsibility again, and a lot of my debt just came from me being poor. Like I just didn't have no money.
Same.
So, over the years, I realized how important credit is and how you can't do nothing without credit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, if you don't have that, you can have all the money in the world. You can have as much money as you want. But if your credit score is not where it needs to be,
everything gonna cost you more money.
Paying bigger down payments. You're gonna be paying bigger deposits. Mm-hmm. You're gonna, you know what I'm saying? It's just a lot that comes with that that's just not lucrative. And it's like you're gonna be actually losing money because that's not money that you can get back. You're going to be losing money because your credit is low. So I had to get that together. So I understand that. So that's why I'm like, I can't 100% judge it because I've been there, and I can't just say, oh, I know you're not going to get yourself out of it, because I did. And I'm like, if I can pull myself mentally out of where I was before, anybody can do it.
Well, do you think the better solution is to help them get out of it, like with making a plan instead of actually paying it for them?
I don't think that me paying their debt off or me like using my money to do it is helpful.
Yeah, I agree.
For me and them. Yeah. And it's not helpful for either one of us, because it's like now it's like you're using it as a crutch. Like, oh, I paid. And
now you owe me.
Now you owe me. And then you probably get yourself back in that thing. But the thing about it is, I can guide you to how to do it. It's up to you to take that. And if it's something small, like say for instance, like, all right, so my bill this month for my credit card, I'm just paying my credit card bill down, right? That my minimum that I can pay is $100, but I kind of want to pay over that a little bit. And you like, you'll give me $50 so I can just pay $150 so it can go down. If I know that you putting money in there or whatever, and I have it to spare, I'll give it to you to put down, because I feel like you're doing that to get your debt down, and you're putting more of your money in it than mine. You just want to get it out the way faster. But if
now I'm sitting here thinking about it, I ain't giving nothing. We're gonna come up with a plan.
I feel it.
I want all my money. I'm sorry,
Queen. You're validated for everything that you're saying. I promise you, I 100% agree.
Because it's just too risky.
I'm just telling you with my personal experience myself. That's the only reason why I feel like that.
No, I feel you, and you know yourself, and you're capable of doing it. But the problem is, everybody don't think like that, and everybody don't learn lessons. But
I'm gonna give you an opportunity to prove yourself, though.
Yeah, that's fair. I
don't want to just come out the gate and saying like, oh, you just an irresponsible person. You ain't gonna never change.
But I also think if someone is like that, y'all shouldn't even. If they are very irresponsible, it shouldn't even be a conversation, because I'm not. You better take it behind there and get a personal loan. Yeah, I don't like people owing me, and I definitely don't want to owe people. But like I said, it would have to be one of them situations where it's like time is of the essence and I have vetted you. But I'm just sitting here thinking like, even then, because I just get so turned off by people.
You really do. It's actually insane how bad you dislike people. It's like you like, but the thing about it is you dislike people, but you're not a rude person. Like you're not mean to people unless
Thank you. I
unless
appreciate it. I have
unless
mean thoughts though.
yeah.
Oh, your grandma is not pretty.
Oh my
Everybody
God.
want their grandma to be beautiful, but yours is not one of them. I'm just playing.
God.
No,
but no, I mean, like you're not mean. Like you'll even talk to anybody. You have a conversation with just about anybody.
Thank you so much, because you was just trying to drag my zodiac sign.
I'm still gonna drag the zodiac sign because that's just what I do. But I do feel like you the type of person when you be like, oh yeah, that's just not what I want to associate myself with. So I'm just not gonna do that.
Yeah, what's my girl Meredith from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City? I'm disengaging. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's funny because I'm looking at Watch the Real Housewives of Potomac from season 4, and Giselle is in therapy, and her therapist basically was talking to her about how as soon as a guy messed up, she cut him off, and I'm like, what's the problem?
Oh my God.
But he was basically saying like, because one thing goes wrong, that is part of getting to know them. Like, that don't mean you're supposed to just cut them off, but I think it depends on what they do. But I will say in her cases, it wasn't a lot of like the guy was supposed to come with her as a guest to a wedding, and he called her the day before and said he couldn't go no more. Now that would have pissed me off, but I don't know if I would have cut him off. It would have to, I don't know what I would have did, but it was just interesting to hear him say it, because I'm like, bye.
You like, child, please, honey.
Anyways, but yeah, that's interesting. That's an interesting conversation. And I think it's all fun and games till we really in that situation, because we in love, honey. I will cross the ocean for you.
Man.
But
I ain't felt that way in a minute, because I will say
now, what if this person you talking to now be like, hey, look, tomorrow, he be like, I need $300 to tomorrow.
You're not getting it. So, one thing about me, I've learned to not dig in my pockets for no man unless we are in a committed relationship, and I know that he would do the same for me.
Yeah, I feel you.
So I'm not doing that. I would not. I don't even buy. I will take you on a date and buy you some food or whatever. But when it comes
to you home,
yeah, like we go on a date and it's my turn to pay. Cool, I'll pay. I'll pay for your parking, something. But when it's giving like 3 eviction, I'm finna get evicted.
Oh, because you're just gonna get evicted again. I can't save you from that. You had 90 days to get there.
Yeah, like, and then it's COVID. They got programs. Figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, they ain't got no car note programs, but you need.
I'm at the point where if you rent, don't talk to me.
Oh God, Alicia, but the market.
I'm just playing. It's funny because being in Georgia, it seemed like you got the option, but you go to places like New York and California, people is not owning houses. People are, but not people like us.
Yeah, nah, they ain't owning it.
I see some condos that I could buy, but they were pricey. I mean, they were like $500,000 for like 2-bedroom condos, which you can get that here, but they were not nearly as nice in California.
Yeah.
But I did see some parts outside of LA that were like Georgia prices.
Man, ask me this again in 3 months when I get comfortable with driving through the valley. Because the way today, and then it was so crazy because my ears was popping.
Yeah, I don't like driving through the mountains, and especially when it's real narrow, because I'd be like, wow, I could really drive off of this.
Girl, they HOV lane literally has a wall on the left side and a wall on the right side. And it's
really?
So narrow. I'm like,
my mind would be like, my mind would be like, turn the steering wheel to the left, turn to the left, turn to the left.
I was just like,
I don't like that. Oh my God. I will never forget when I drove to Yosemite National Park. It's a national park in California. And I drove through a lot of mountains, like in Utah, Arizona, all that. But something about this one, they ain't have no rails on no mountains. I was like, why is this legal?
Yes. Yeah.
There was some people, and I had to get morbid, but there was 2 people from my job who did they did a race, I guess like a they did a Jeep race or something like that in the mountains in California, and they won the race, parked their Jeep, lost control, and it drove off the cliff. Not even joking. 2 people from my job, literally. Imagine that. Imagine that. You just won this race. You excited. And that's why I don't understand. Like, I know these mountains are like natural and all that other stuff, but why in the world is there no protection? For real, because it's so easy. Like, oh my God, I'll never forget. It was this red car coming from around the mountain, coming around the mountain when she come. And there was not enough space. We made it, but that could have been it for your girl.
Yeah, I only been up one mountain like that out here when I was just visiting in the hills. Like, my God.
When
like,
I was thinking about you driving out there, I was like, "Ooh, them mountains," and you gonna have that
but the thing
U-Haul.
about it, it was on the highway, so it wasn't like
Oh, okay. Well, that's way different.
I'm literally driving through the mountains, so it wasn't bad. Like, if it was the daytime,
Yeah,
I would have been fine. I just wouldn't have got an HOV lane.
yeah. Or
But
the what they call it? They don't call it HOV out there. They call it carpool lane.
yeah, I wouldn't have got in there.
Yeah,
because it's not bad. It's just the highway and it's dark. Like, I don't like that.
yeah. That's tough. And it's like no matter how bright your headlights are, it ain't enough.
It was a lot of cars out there. That's why I felt okay, because I'm like, it's other cars out here. But
yeah, you try to tell yourself, okay,
here,
they live.
They drive crazy, man. They drive like you will be going 70 miles per hour. That ain't fast enough. The speed limit say 50. You going 70. That ain't fast enough for them.
I don't like that.
Then you got people with motorcycles wiggling through 130.
Literally wiggling.
They're going 130 miles per hour. It's too much. It's too much. Like, it's just entirely too much. I can't do it. But I'm gonna get used to it. I'm gonna force myself to do it. I'm just gonna have to waste gas. I'm gonna just go back and forth to see my friends in Woodland Hills.
Okay. What about Baldwin Hills?
Woodland Hills is like more so in the valley, though.
I don't know what that means.
Anything else is regular. Like,
I just know Calabasas mean pumpkins.
Calabasas is one exit away from Woodland Hills.
Okay, it's pumpkin.
Tarzana is the one before that. Tarzana is also where a lot of celebrities live at.
I don't care about no celebrities. I'm a celebrity.
I'm just saying, like, well, that's why our rich people. Let me just say that.
I'm rich.
Move to Tarzana then. You would probably be better off in Woodland Hills. There's more black people out there.
Let me look on Zillow. All right, it's time to wrap this episode up.
Let's wrap it up, cause baby, get what? Christmas coming up. Yeah.
What's a Woodland Hills, Georgia? Can I do that?
Have at it. They probably hang black people, girl. Don't go there.
Okay. That's the problem with Georgia. You can't even play like that. Anyway, all right, y'all. So
Christmas coming up. I will be in Atlanta probably December 12th or 13th.
I kind of want to take that week off from recording. I've been so stressed out from work. I need all the breaks I can get.
You're human. You deserve breaks.
I don't know if I share with y'all. My job spurred this random project on my lap. A year's worth of a project that they wanted done in 6 weeks. And let's not forget, these 6 weeks include 2 of the biggest holidays of the year. So it's really 3.5 weeks. And so I've been working around the clock. I mean, literally from sun up to sundown. I've been working till like 8, 9 o'clock every day. Not today, because I closed my computer down like 4:30 because I couldn't deal. But I've been so freaking stressed out. It's so, and it's sad because it's not even a hard project. It's just the amount of time that I need to get it done. So just pray for me, y'all. This job ain't stressed me out since I started, and they want to do it now on my 1-year anniversary. They really want me out because it don't take nothing for me to quit.
So don't.
But I'm gonna try to stick around. I'm gonna try to stick with the company. I started looking at internal positions today, and I'm gonna just start networking and seeing how much money I can get out of them.
Period.
But yeah. So anyway, all right.
Oh yeah. If y'all see that we had a break coming up, just know that's
I don't even care no more. We don't miss some of the episodes. If you stay, you stay. If you don't, suck your mama titty.
Well, I don't feel like that. So okay.
Sorry. I just be saying any other thing.
Crazy.
I'm sleepy. I'm sleepy.
Okay. Well, bye,
all right, y'all. See y'all next week here.
Period. Maybe if she got out.
Depending on how I feel.
All right, y'all.
Bye.